With ST-95, it's all about a progressive aesthetic, it's all about responsible design, it's all about that material innovation, and ultimately coming with a new vision of the brand is what this is all about. This whole project has the blessing of Lorenzo Osti, so Massimo's son. For anyone that knows nothing about Massimo Osti, I think it's safe to say really he was a pathfinder, I think, for modern menswear. And when I think back now on even studying 20 years ago at the Royal College of Art, my whole fascination was always around military functionality. And you know, when you research, of course, around what Massimo was doing through the 70s, 80s, 90s, and the level of innovation that was happening, particularly in material development, dyeing techniques, it was groundbreaking at the time, and it stood the test of time. And that's a really, really rare thing, and a very difficult thing to do. So yeah, that's why I'm so proud to be now working on this project. For me, ST-95, it has such relevance to the way that we've tried to grow Raeburn from the beginning. We've always tried to look at a really modern approach to the way that we build garments. And so when the opportunity to potentially work on ST-95 came up, it was amazing to really research, dig in, understand again the amount of material, innovation and modernity of the garments. Again, looking back, the pieces made 20, 25 years ago to look still so contemporary and so wearable today, it made perfect sense for us then to align with that. But really importantly, we didn't want to just replicate things from the past. Raeburn is all about responsible design. You know, we've been doing this since 2009, working in a really, really responsible way. So it's bringing all of that thinking, particularly around materials, particularly recycled materials, and how we could bring that into a new kind of dimension for the brand. Fundamentally, you're building on really solid foundations, but then you have that opportunity to, I think, be creative, and we feel like we're just getting going, you know, with this first collection. And we know really quickly we'll be able to accelerate, build momentum, and push, of course, on the aesthetic and, of course, the material innovation as well. What's really important to acknowledge is that everyone, I think, that maybe knows a bit about Massimo Osti knows there was an incredible output of work. You know, scores of different brands that were started over many, many decades. With ST-95, it was actually one of the, let's say, smaller brands. It was only around for very few years. As a result, even finding original ST garments is incredibly difficult. We've been fortunate to build a small archive here at the Raeburn lab, alongside some of the Lecam pieces and, of course, the wider Osti archive pieces. But I guess that's the really important thing. You need to respect the past, but the whole point is about how you can move things forward. It's all about recycled materials, but as we go forward, we'll be testing, learning, growing in different ways. And that can be everything from, let's say, the most innovative dye processes and thinking particularly natural dyes, etc., going forward, to then, of course, with jersey products being done in organics, regenerative, recycled cottons. The really exciting thing for me as a designer now, when I think back on what's quickly becoming, and scarily for me to say, a 20-year career, we're now at this amazing moment where material innovation is at such a point that we can really create anything and do things really in a much more, let's say, purposeful way that has a lot lower impact. And that's part of what we're really interested in, how we can bring that that opportunity around material innovation into the collection. We don't talk about sustainability. We talk about our responsibility as a design company. And in short, we have an ethos we call the 3 Rs. It's all about remade, reduced or recycled. And if we're not doing one or two, or ideally all 3 of those things, we don't do it. And I think the really important thing for people coming to view the product, they should know that they'll be getting an incredibly well-made, really progressive product. It's going to last a long time, but it's absolutely grounded in responsible materials through and through. And I think it's so important about the world we live in today. You know, this is very much about working with the brand, respecting, as I mentioned previously, the past, but how we can really look to the future.